What's going on, guys? This is Bye Bye, aka Nick, whatever you want to call me, but this is my first voice recording. I'm actually gonna be discussing like ladder gameplay, how I got into top 6K global, and yeah, top into the first one. We're up against Logbait. I had to turn off the audio since it was like too loud and I couldn't fix it, but yeah, so we just kind of, he goes with the princess in the back. We cycle our miner in the front, kind of just see what he has. He goes with a gang. And we pretty much know right now that it's probably classic 3.3 log bait. Since, there's a lot of bait decks out there, but not many of them have gang and the princess, besides classic 3.3. So with this, we just really have to play it patiently, play it safe, play a lot of defense, and all it takes is one balloon push to take him out. So just got to be really patient. Try and keep up with the cycle. Just played arrows on his goblin barrel. This is my old ladder deck. I used to use snowball instead of arrows, but I've been playing bait lately, so I just switched out arrows for snowball. Snowball for arrows. And so we defend his gang. And just kind of taking it slow right now. We go with a balloon, knowing that he has both rocket and inferno tower. And we kind of misplaced the miner there. It's a little low, so it does get caught by the Inferno Tower. But it still does get 3 hits, so that's nice. Goes Princess at the bridge. We don't catch it with the Mega Minion, though, so that's unfortunate. It does get 2 shots, and the Knight also gets a hit on the tower. So we just go arrows on the barrel. And we know that his princess isn't in cycle, but we still kind of go with the high ice golem to just kind of like maybe give the possibility of us going balloon. So that's why he splits the gang in the back of his right tower. So we just immediately pressure left hand lane. He decides to defend with Inferno Tower. He could have gone Rocket or Inferno Tower. He went Inferno Tower. So we have our arrows back in cycle for the barrel. Eventually, he's going to outcycle us. He's got 3.3. We have 3.5. I mean, it's due to happen. He's got cheap cards. But we go kind of a mid-ice golem to catch the princess. We go with a high fireball to see if he's going to play anything like a gang or anything behind the knight, but we don't catch anything. So he did outcycle us. It was due to happen. So we have to go with an E-Wiz, soak like 3 hits from the barrel. But now we can go in. He does rocket, though, for the first time. But Miner on the Rage will take out his princess. We're up elixir, and we have troops on the board. And Miner did a nice job chipping away on the tower, but like I said, we have to beat him down. Also, I played Ice Golem and then arrows, which kind of screws up my cycle. I should have played arrows on the barrel, then Ice Golem. Obviously, we caught the princess, but you want to try and play your spell first on whatever they're using. That way, so you keep the cycle going. But here we go. This is where we break through. We know the balloon's not going to one-shot the Inferno Tower, so that's why we get the fireball in there, making it able to one-shot it. And then Death Damage is going to take out his princess is where we overwhelm. And now we know that he has to be aggressive. We actually decided to just go arrows on that barrel. And he's already way outcycled our arrows. We know it's going to happen, though, so we're ready. We go with the miner on his princess to take back some of those goblins. We take 3 hits from the barrel. E-Wiz stays alive, dies. He goes gang and knight at the bridge, so we just have to defend. But now we can go with the miner in the back since he has nothing for the miner. So we just go miner, and all he has is log right now. But he's back to his barrel. We're back to our arrows. Miner gets enough damage to bring that to fireball range, and then we just take that out. So pretty nicely played. Not a terrible matchup there, but arrows really help us out. Alright, let's go to the next one against Lon Charnette. And he actually has a YT channel. He runs Gollum a lot of the time. And I pretty much knew that, so I was like, oh wow, I'm playing Lon Charnette. I've seen like one of his videos, but I knew he was running Gollum. So we immediately just go balloon first play. See what kind of just see what we're working with. So we know since he has the Ice Wiz, chances are he has NATO. And he goes with a kind of a late NATO, which makes sense, but we actually do get death damage. which is nice. That adds up 395, 6 for 5 trade. NATO Ice Wiz for Balloon, and we get 395 on his tower. So we're satisfied with that. We can go with a miner pretty much anywhere since he uses NATO. And he's going to defend pretty nicely. We're up 3 elixir, but obviously we have to respond to the Baby Drag and the Brawler. And so we just go Ice Golem. I could have gone Mega Minion, but I mean, Ice Golem was good enough, I guess. So right now, I know that we're about like even on elixir, so I just go Naked Loon. And we know that he's just going to go with the same sequence. We're not out-cycling him yet in single elixir. Because, I mean, he hasn't played a Golem yet, so he can kind of keep up with their cycle. But yeah, he's just playing defense, 6 for 5 trade, and we get the death damage. I'm happy with that. Like, I'm liking it. So we go with a miner. Gonna get some nice chipper. 4 miner hits. Rage comes down from the lumberjack, and he starts to get really offensive here. He just goes with a lightning, and I'm not sure I agree with that. We do have to play an Ice Golem. We're forced to play Ice Golem on that Night Witch, or else we would have taken like a lot of damage. Night Witch can literally take your tower down with the bats and the DPS and all this other stuff. So we're actually still like even on elixir. I had decided to just soak those 2 barb hits because I'm going in with Loon, and we go Fireball. Kind of just cycle back to another Loon, but also it's just decent value, and his Ice Wiz will now die, forcing the NATO to take out the bomb. Will take out the Ice Wiz. So we know that he has to go Golem, so we just immediately pressure other lane when he plays the Night Witch. And he goes Brawler. He goes with a Cage instead of Lightning, which I'm not sure I agree with. So he tries to defend this without Lightning, and it just gets a little dicey for him. Obviously, he's got a big push on the right-hand side, so it gets a little risky for us. And this is where it gets tricky. We go arrows. We're just patient. He's up in elixir, and he has a ton of troops on the board, so he's obviously going to go pocket Golem. So we go with our E-Wiz. We know he has his lightning, so all we play is our lumberjack. And then we go high Ice Golem to just distract the Ice Wiz. Now that he's played his lightning, we go with our Mega Minion. You want to try and bait out the lightning with just one troop. You don't want to play like all 3 or whatever you have. You want to just try and just play Mega Minion or something, and then wait a few seconds, and then chances are that they'll lightning, and then you can use like your lumberjack E-Wiz, but whatever you have. So we go in with the pocket lumberjack, pretty much expecting a cage. We get a nice fireball, but we don't actually get the death damage. We know pocket Golem is coming, but we cannot defend it. We know that we have outcycled his tornado though. So we have to be offensive because we can't defend this Golem right now. There's not enough time and not enough health on our tower. So he has to go with his cage. E-Wiz comes down, and we barely take the tower. Loon makes the connection, and that was good enough. So sneak out of that battle. And he's just outside of being ranked, but he was in 6K range. And last match was against Aten. And another Golem deck, so 2 in a row. But this was a really interesting one. He's using XC Hog. He was using XC NATO with the Valk. So when he plays Valk and then he plays XC, I'm thinking like, it could be Hog, or it could also be the Loon Cycle deck. But regardless, we know that he has the Tornado. So we just go in Lumber Loon, see what he's going to do. A little risky, actually, because he could have had Rocket if he was rocking the Hog deck. But he decides to NATO to the King Tower, and he takes 2 hits, which is really big. That's going to be really important later on. But I'm not too sure I agreed with that. I mean, I guess he didn't really have any other options, but we go with a Fireball on the Night Witch. Getting some nice value, hitting both towers and the Night Witch. But Fireball arrows takes out the Night Witch and the bats that spawn after death. So that's good to note. We go with an E-Wiz. He's actually way up in elixir right now. Rightfully so. I mean, we pushed with the balloon in the right-hand lane. But right now we just kind of wait. We're up 3 elixir, but obviously he has a healthy Golem, so it's like we're just patient right now. Got to play this nice and safe. We go with a lumberjack pretty late. Just see if he was going to go with any support troops, but he did not. So lumberjack actually comes back to help out against that golem. So now we have a pretty healthy lumberjack. We go ice golem, we go balloon, we go with the deep miner in the left, catching that Xe. It doesn't take it out, it barely chips away on it, but it does distract it long enough for the balloon to get 2 hits, which is really big. 2 hits is about like 2,400 damage. And then the death damage is 395. So we go E-Wiz to just kind of mitigate some of that Valk damage. And he's going to go with a Night Witch in the back, and we know that he's going Golem. So we actually just decide to double spell his Night Witch. Good value on the towers, and just good to take out the Night Witch right then and there. So we actually just go Mega Minion, knowing that his lightning is in cycle, and then we go with our other support troops. And that's really what you want to do. You just want to play it safe. Just be patient. You don't want to go all your troops out, giving them a ton of lightning value. So we just went with the Mega Minion. So this is where it gets a little dicey. He actually defends our miner, so forcing us to play Fireball to take out the tower. And this is where it gets really risky. He's got 12 seconds. He goes with a Pocket Golem. We know he's low on Elixir, but Lumberjack dies from the NATO, the Rage, and the 2 Loon hits from the before on his King Tower end up becoming huge. We 3-crown him and get the dub against Golem, Xe, NATO. So really interesting deck by that guy. This was the deck I was using, and we were like 5,900, but I mean, ladder falls so quickly right now, especially beginning of the season. Right now we're 61, 81. Shout out to the clan. Thank you guys so much for watching. Those like 25 views, really, they're kind of nice to see. So, yeah, all right, good luck this season, boys.